Good. Hello, everyone. Look at me fix my hair for a minute there. Hello, everyone. This is Pat Cardinal, and this is the Live Like Lifestyle podcast. I'm so excited that you have joined me on today. I have my guest in the waiting room. She's looking beautiful as ever. Hey, Shante. She's already here. And so I just want to thank you all for joining in. This is again the Live Like Lifestyle podcast. My name is Pat Cardinal, and here at the Live Like Lifestyle podcast, our goal, our vision, our hope, and our prayer is that we can empower change in your everyday life. And so I want to thank you so much for being a part of this today. Start a watch party, share this with your friends. There's going to be some incredible information that I know is going to be shared on this podcast today, because this woman of God has an awesome, incredible organization. I've been following her for a while. Right, I've been reading up and seeing what she's doing, and she's always has something great and exciting. She is also a radio personality. She is building this media empire, amen. And so we are excited. I'm excited, right? I am excited to hear from her today. So without further ado, I am going to bring this woman of God into the podcast. Amen. And we are going to have an awesome time in the Lord. I know we're going to have some good laughs. But I really hope and pray that there will be some information shared that will really help you move further along in whatever vision that God is giving you. Listen, everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a voice. And I promise you, for that voice that you have, God has already prepared someone on to be able to receive that which you have to release into the earth. And so without further ado, I'm going to bring in, amen, Shunte Gamble.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, y'all.
Can you hear me? Because I'm having a little problem hearing you.
You can't hear me? No.
Let's see. My audio. No. I can hear you now.
Okay.
Hello? No, you wouldn't. Okay.
Am I still there?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying with the technology. I'm trying. I don't know. Do you get a feedback? I'm on my computer.
No, I was getting a feedback at first, but not now.
All right. Good.
Okay. Awesome. I am having a few little issues of my own. Okay, I have my logo up. I think something got a little. Anyway, we're going to move on because, here I am down here. This is what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And this is what I'm looking for. Yes. Okay, that's it. Hey, Shante.
Hey, y'all.
How are you? You guys.
I am doing good.
Awesome. This is the woman. This is the reason why I have a podcast today. Because when Shante was looking for, she had her studio and she was looking for people to say, do you want a podcast? Me with my crazy self says yes. And then I said, uh-oh, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what to do. I'm scared to death, but it turns out that I really, really love doing it because two things I love. I love people and I love to hear what people are doing. You know what I mean? Like I like to hear about people's stories and everything. So she's the reason why I have the podcast, right? And so I want to thank you again for agreeing to be on the show.
Yeah.
I want to give you an opportunity to share with the audience who you are and what you have going on.
Well, I'm Shunte Gamble. I'm the founder of Women Empowering Change. I did set out to start a media company this year. I'd already been doing a part of media. We have a magazine that comes out every year. I'm super excited about it. We get to showcase a lot of local talent and talent statewide, countrywide at times. So we get to just feature a lot of successful, talented entrepreneurs, people in business, people even in corporate America. I'm always a big advocate of you don't have to be an entrepreneur just to be doing great things. You can be in corporate 500. You could be a teacher. You could be a firefighter. You could be, working wherever you feel like your gifts are being used and your purpose is being walked out. Because a lot of focus nowadays is having your own business, and that is being the true self. So I encourage people, just be where you're supposed to be. And those are the people that I love to spotlight because, they're doing their thing. They're operating in their gifts. They're being able to impact the community. So with that magazine, branched out to have the studio where, other people can come and host their podcast if they have guests that they want in studio, and just creating a platform. That's been my whole goal through all of the businesses that I've had. It's been many. Creating a platform that other people can stand on to be, just recognized. A lot of times I tell people, in order for someone to know what you do, you have to tell them. So that's where I come in at. I'm just giving you a way to tell people what you do and how they can link in and support you.
Awesome. I love that. I love that giving other individuals a platform, and I think that that's so important because a lot of times, we really don't know how to kind of get out there sometimes. We have a voice, we have something to share, but we don't always know how to do that. We don't always know what type of platforms to actually utilize that for. And so what you are doing is a great, great thing. So tell us a little bit about Women Empowering Change and how that all came about for you.
Well, Women Empowering Change basically came from a business that I had that no one could pronounce. So it was Total Beauty Ladies Events. And everybody like, oh my God, I had so much fun at the Total Lady Beauties event. I'm like, what? Where were you at? So it came from a journey. And, I also try and encourage people, if one avenue dries up, it's okay to start over. It's okay to go back to the drawing board. So that's basically where Women Empowering Change came from. It was previously called Total Beauty Ladies Events. We would have, different benefit type events, everything that we're doing now. But I just felt like it needed to have a more centralized focus. And, I started thinking like, well, what would that focus be? What is that focus? And it was like women who are making change.
Okay.
So I was like, Women Empowering Change. There we go. Boom.
There we go. Boom. Right. I like that. So what are the types of things that I know you have the BBU magazine, but what are the other types of programs or things that you have in Women Empowering Change that's available?
Okay, so outside of COVID, COVID was a big turning point for us because this year I put a lot of new programs in place that we were going to be able to get into this year. So luckily I have the chance of just making it spectacular for 2021. But we have things, we started a book club, so we'll see if that will continue. That was great. We got a chance to spotlight local authors, so that was awesome. And, we had a group of people that would support their book, so we'll see if that continues. That looks, seems to be something that's growing. We have workshops that is called for one, got really excited, sorry about that. It's called the Think Tank Collab. So that is going to be the big initiative that I'll be pushing this year and into the following years. So what that will look like is a system of workshops, seminars, roundtable talks, where we can help women who are at any phase in business, whether you don't know where to get going, or maybe you got your momentum, you just want to, maybe refine some things, sharpen some skills, or you're successful and you want to know how to keep climbing up the ladder, because you have to stay learning. You have to stay teachable.
Yes, you do. Yes. I love that. I love that. It's kind of like a small business incubator, in a sense. It's something that I've always wanted to have. And so, listen, well, I'll find out how I can get connected in, right?
Yes, because we definitely need leaders that can come in and share. And the thing about that is we need leaders that are women and men. Women Empowering Change grew because men took an interest to it, and they expressed their interest in being a part of it. And I'm totally on board with that, because it's a community thing. It takes women and men to really make a difference. We can't do it alone, even though we, a lot of us women are super strong. At the end of the day, it needs to be a collaboration between both male and women to see real effective changes that we want to see, whether it's in the home or the community or the workplace. So we also have memberships. Membership will be restarted in 2021, when we're able to really get together and the members can actually really take away some tangible things, and we're not doing everything online. So I wanted that in-person feel. If you know me, I'm old-fashioned.
No. I love that as well. And I like the fact that it's men and women, because really all of our perspectives matter. And collectively, all of our perspectives also help us all to grow. And so I think it's awesome that there are also men that are included, because again, I don't know about you, I have friends I have male friends or what have you. And, I love to, we as women, we can chop it up, and we can say some amazing things and do some things, but sometimes you just need a little bit of a different spin on what you're doing. And so sometimes bringing that male in really brings that to the table. And it just shows that we have a value for all of us. All of us have value, and all of us have something valuable to say. So I love that. I'm looking forward to your opening up the membership again for next year. That's going to be great. So how did you get into the media, the radio and podcasting side of things?
Well, I guess just being in front of people. I started out, when I started my business journey, I wanted to make handmade jewelry and just be the best handmade jewelry designer in Houston. That was my goal. And look here now that, I'm able to be a part of your show. This was never in my plan. And as entrepreneurs, you have to be open to the different roads that life will take you. And through Total Beauty Ladies events, I ended up trying to sell that jewelry during events and having expos, and it just kept leading. One door just kept leading to another, and being in front of people. After my divorce, I said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to take a break from the hosting aspect, because if y'all out there and y'all host events, y'all know, for one, it's time consuming. And if you're a perfectionist, it's even more time consuming. It's expensive. And, I'm just the kind of person, if you know me, I'm all in. There's no halfway doing anything. So I took a break, but, I really felt like the Lord was like, well, I don't want you to sit all the way out. I want you to speak. This is the time where you talk about what you're going through. You talk about, your experiences to help. So just kind of being in front of people, I wanted to get into radio, being asked to be on different shows where we were interviewing on the radio. It piqued my interest. I remember, quick story, sharing one of my events on the radio, and I was terrified. And the lady was like, you have a great voice. You should be on radio. And I'm thinking to myself, lady, are you crazy? Like, I'm just trying to get out of here. And little did I know, Facebook is good at sending up memories, and they did good this year. They've been on it. So just in reflection, when I went to that interview and took that picture, several years later on that same exact date around that time, now I'm starting my, in the process of starting my own radio station. So just being in front of people and wanting to share and wanting to hear other people's stories. So again, being that platform, giving people a place where they can share their experiences to help someone else out.
Man, that's awesome. Awesome. I love that. So what do you have like in store? Like for like you have anything beyond radio? You have other things you have?
Yes. So why, yes, I do. So
yeah.
I think at this point, speaking, what I've tried to do is really give people more of my personality, more of my, comedic side. And, I always tell people therapy is very important. And, it's funny how, you can go through these moments and you're like just tearing the ugly cries. And then you get in front of, people and then it just turns into comedy. So I want to be able to continue to share experiences so that someone else doesn't have to go as low as I did just to get through it. I think that will save a lot of people a lot of heartache and time. Like, ooh, I see that. So, the radio station is definitely in the play. It's been a lot of circumstances going around right now that's making that take a little bit longer. And then plays eventually, I have books out there. So the next thing is probably more of like television.
Oh.
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that. Here are other things you can try.
Hello, can you hear me?
No, I can't. You were a little frozen there.
Okay, I think it's my internet. I tell you, this whole media side of, this way of doing things now really, it causes you to have to try to think on your feet, right? Okay, so now that has happened. Now that's something. Now I'm going to have to go back and research so that I can try to prevent.
I'm on a second computer just to make today happen. So. I get it.
Wow. I tell you, one of the things I think that, of course, I first met you when I was on your show with Tyra Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we were on the show together, and you had just come from hosting another event. And we had a ball that day because, you was having a situation going on with your wig.
All the time.
I was like, oh my goodness, it was so funny. But, the thing about it, I think that really so impressed me about you is that, first of all, your smile is infectious. You have a beautiful smile. And you really care about what you're doing. You can tell you're concerned about people. And you do it with such a flair of humor that it just makes everybody feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Makes you feel comfortable. Because I was very, very nervous that day.
I remember.
I think that was like maybe my second time doing anything like that. And I was just like, oh my God. But, because I am really, people that know me don't think I am an introvert. But I'm really very introverted. And so I have learned over time that an introverted person, that necessarily wasn't God's plan for me, right? So,
right?
I mean, he would put me in situations, and I would have to sink or swim, and I just had to learn how to do it. But you're so welcoming, you know what I mean? And just a nice sense of humor, and it made it a really, really fun show. So it was really great having you. So what type of, or you having me on the show, what type of format are you looking at for your radio show?
Well, the radio show it's called Mixed Talk Media. So it'll be a lot of different conversations over a range of different topics. So, it may be finance one day, maybe relationships. So my goal is to have different, even podcasters. So the unique thing about it, what I'm trying to do is you don't actually have to be an in-studio radio host, which is the typical way of being on the radio, being a radio DJ, being in the studio. You can be a podcaster. Send me an audio edited file of your show and we'll air it. We'll run it just like you're sitting in the studio. So that's what I'm trying to create. It's also a different way, of using technology to incorporate different lifestyles, because some people just don't have the time to come and be in a studio. So just all kinds of different shows. Now, one thing we don't do a lot of racy topics, and we don't do a lot of cursing. So people who have just clean content across any field of life. My podcast is Let's Talk Life XL. So it means life and the extra large moments of it. So, that's kind of what I'm looking for everyone else too, is anybody who's talking across different aspects of life with clean content.
Gotcha.
And a little bit of, and the music that we play is going to be easy listening. So it'll be like easy listening music. So I'm excited about it, which you all will find out to be easy listening.
Okay. Oh, I'm so excited for you. You better go, girl. Yes. It's just so exciting to see. We all have the same, for the most part, we have the same vision, and the vision is in some way, form, or fashion, we are sharing Christ with the world. So whether it's through apparel or through, talk radio or podcasting or just, public speaking, it's all the same. And I think what's so exciting for me is to see how God uses each of us in our own way, right? That's in a way that fits us and our personality. And he uses all to do the same thing, and that's what's really so exciting.
It is.
So, yes. So, and I usually start off with this question, but I'm kind of going in the opposite direction with this. But I think when people are on this show, I like to hear a little bit about their backstory, and I like to share a little bit about their backstory because, again, it makes them the person that they are today, and it helps to tie in how maybe what they're doing right now kind of ties into where they've been. So I'll leave it up to you to share what you feel comfortable sharing. But I'd like for my audience to learn a little bit more about. And you see all the awesome things she's doing. You see women empowering. Right. And all those things. You see the radio and you see all these things. But what makes Shunte Gamble?
Woo! How much time we got? Which y'all, I'm gonna tell you the short version. Basically, just having, I think we all have experiences that all of our experiences shape, just like you said, who we are, how we think, and what we do. My story is one of a very rocky childhood. It was on one end rocky and one end smooth. So I was always the misunderstood person. I felt like no one really understood me because they viewed me as being one way, but that wasn't really how my life was on a consistent basis. They thought, oh, well, because she's in private school, she has money, but there were times we struggled. There were situations that, made me have to, and luckily I was just always more of a level-headed kid, aside from being a kid. But that's kind of my background is, you know, on one hand, you know, you have what you need, and on the other hand, you know, you don't. So, and I think as an adult, it helped me. I can relate to somebody who had every bill cut off, lights, water, whatever. I can relate with you. I can relate to someone else who can buy their dream home. I can relate to someone else who has, you know, the income that they want. So, you know, it's kind of like a dual life, and you know, just experiencing things. For the last couple of years, I've really been asked to really speak in different seasons in life. You know, at one point, you know, people saw me being married, doing the business as a couple. You know, that was very visible. And then you saw me doing the business by myself. So, you know, like, you know, and then, you know, just really having to, you know, not even be well known and still have to publicly explain, like, okay, from here on out, it's gonna be me. Don't walk up to me and ask me where he at. No, I'm just saying, but you know what I mean. So, you know, just having to overcome. That's kind of been me. Sicknesses, troubled births, you know, being an unwed single mother fresh out of college, you know, all that. I can relate to all of that, you know, gone through a divorce, having to pick yourself up in every sense, you know, having to talk to people about depression and how it's very real, and, you know, even turning that into comedy, not to make light of it, but to show like, hey, you know, I overcame. It took a lot of work. It took other people to help me through this. So just being able to relate to people on different levels and have that whole why me, you know, a lot of those situations have shaped me into who I am now. Women empowering change, you know, that just, it speaks for itself. You know, I've always had businesses that I had to explain what I did. And when I say women empowering change, the conversation is, oh, okay, you know, I don't have to keep explaining. So, you know, when I look back over the things that I've gone through, the, you know, the childhood that, you know, was rough, but on some parts good, you know, making mistakes that I felt embarrassed about, or not being able to give my kids the family that I thought, being divorced and the stigma behind that. I mean, all of it, you know, just to say, you know what, I'm a woman and I'm empowering change. And if the change is within me, then that's the change that's necessary, because that's the change that's going to be the catalyst to someone else's change. And you keep that going, and now you got a whole movement of change. So yeah, being down, being up, being broke, being good, being sad, being depressed, being happy, all of that is what makes me.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Because we, do you hear that? No. So that is so important, you know, because again, you know, I look at people in my life, you know, I look at my mom, or, you know, my older sisters, or, you know, and other people that have overcome such great odds, you know, but they continue to strive, they continue to move forward, they refuse to give up, they refuse to lay down, and they refuse to believe that there is nothing left for them in life, you know. And one of the worst things that a person can lose is hope. And so being that hope for somebody else, it's, you know, like they say, what we go through is not necessarily for us, right? It's going to be for someone else. And sometimes I'll be like, okay, Lord, whoo, you must really got a lot for other people. Because I tell you, you know. But the great thing about it is it just builds our faith in Him and makes us stronger, and it lets us know that He's real and that He's on our side, and He said He'd never leave us nor forsake us. You know, who is someone in your life that has just really inspired you in what you do. Like you still think about them even in what you're doing today.
Woo. Okay. So I can't just attribute it to one person. I've been really, truly blessed. I've had a lot of different, I call them work moms. I've had a lot of beautiful work moms who, in different professional settings, have really helped me move forward. My mom is a great woman. She has the best personality. Like
She
I
does.
feel like I feel like I'm half her and half my dad. I mean that's what I tell people. You know, the blessing in all of it is having a good support system. And I feel like through each level of my life, I've always had someone that was there. For a lot of it, it was watching my grandmother. She used to have different ladies events. This is where I first was introduced to events. She would have different ladies. They would play cards, and she would have food. I mean, it was a big deal, you know. And she was just like the best host. Like she just would. Her friends were happy to be around her. She made it very special, and I feel like at the end of the day, I'm just a mixture of my grandmothers, both of them, because my other grandmother, she's the one who helped me get started in my business, the professional aspect of it. Because we used to do crafts every year, every Christmas. We would pick a craft and complete the craft and then just show off to each other. Like, yeah, this is what I made. She's like, this is what I made. So, you know, I give her a lot of credit for me starting my first business. You know, my grandmother just kind of setting the tone as a young woman, and just seeing her interact and seeing her being a leader. My mom, she had her own business, just seeing her run her business. My dad is just hands down the best dad ever. So, you know, just at every phase, there's always someone. Miss Evelyn, which is my dad's best friend. I mean, I went to go speak, and I was telling, you know, got to the part where I was talking about depression and how we need to really address when we're feeling sad and not sweep it under the rug, or not let people call us names like crazy or, you know, or problematic, you know, but really address the things that make us feel the way we feel. Because Miss Evelyn, she was the one who helped me get back off my feet. You know, she was the one that called and checked on me and make sure I was okay. And I joked about it at one of my conferences. She sent me a fruit basket. Like, how you doing? You got the basket? Like, oh, fun, I got the
So
basket.
awesome. Yes. And no doubt all these individuals are really what helped to make up, right? Shunte Gamble, and your outlook on life. This is so awesome. So we are going to be closing in just a few, but what I'd like to do is I want to make sure that I've covered everything with WEC. Is there anything else you'd like to share about organization? Nope, you got.
It's you know, due to COVID, unfortunately, a lot of the things that we have to offer, we really can't offer them right now. So a lot of the programs were suspended until, you know, everybody, it's a safe, you know, my thing is about being safe, you know. Absolutely. And putting people in environments where they're going to thrive, and, you know, the goal is going to be reached, not when you go home and you start feeling sick. So, but in the near future, you know, it is definitely something that's very important. We're going to be doing granting scholarships to I know a lot of people like seniors, no, because they have a lot of opportunities out there. We're actually giving scholarships to adults. You have to be a full-fledged adult, because we understand how life still goes on. Right. And we understand how life has even happened for some people. So we want to make sure that we're supporting, you know, adults who have taken the initiative to go back to school. They just may need some additional support, and we want to be the people to support. So we'll be doing scholarships in 2021. Hopefully by that point, we'll be back to our workshop. So the Think Lab collaboration think tank is going to be up and running. So if people are interested in that, either leading or being a part, we welcome everyone. You can sign up online. Mixed Talk Media is running. If you have a podcast and you need a place to host your podcast, or if you want to share your podcast for the radio, it's all going to be Mixed Talk Media. Even the magazine is going to become Mixed Talk Media. Yeah, so we doing it big. We changing for real.
We changing for real. This Rona, girl, this Rona something else. Look, this Rona hairdo of mine. You know, I don't like.
Mine too.
I like my hair looking.
Oh, we be laid.
Yes, the Rona. But that's all right. Misha, I will see you on Friday, girl. We go. Listen, I don't have a wig, and I wish I had. I keep telling you, you need to invest in a wig, but I just
don't do it. Just don't do it.
I'm afraid because
I struggle
because my hair usually, and Misha always cuts it. I mean, it just lays right, even when I don't do anything to it. And so if I start wearing a wig, girl,
it's gonna be over for everybody. If you got a wig on, it's gonna be over.
I'm scared. I'm just gonna deal with what I'm dealing with, girl. This Rona. I looked at myself. This my Rona hairdo.
Yeah, and we'll be producing our event, our retreat, our annual retreat next year. So so we haven't given up on that. Then all Corona did was make us have more time to make it even better. So I'm really excited about that. That was the one thing I was really looking forward to this year out of everything we're doing. Because it gives everybody a chance to come together. Oh man, all of you guys were great. We had like great speakers lined up. We had you lined up. I mean, I was so excited. So I get really excited about events, and that's the one big one we do.
I know. And then even mine, the LiveLike Word Empowerment Conference.
Right.
You were going to be our MC, and I know men are going to be awesome. So we didn't get a chance to this year, but that's okay, right? That's okay. Because growth is growth, right?
It is. And then it's really just to see, like a lot of times we want things, but we don't want them to the point where we have to make some real investments and some real sacrifices. And I think the reward is greater when it is costly. And I'm not talking about risky. I'm not talking about just walking off a job blindly. I'm talking about the things that we go after. We really, truly go after them. So, when a setback happens, we don't abandon hope. We just keep on moving and say, you know what? It's just going to give me more time to reflect on this. It gives me more time to save up for this. It gives me more time to make it more effective, and which should be the goal at the end of the day.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that. Well, let me tell you, this has been an awesome time. It's been a great opportunity. I have definitely learned some things about you today. And I'm just so excited, about the radio station, and there's going to be TV, I'm sure, and all that other stuff. And, having your own studio, like I'm just excited, I'm excited to see when people are able to grow and expand and to test the limits, right? Test the limits of what we think that we can't, there are things that we think we cannot do. But when we begin to test the limits on that, man, we get to see, wow, I had no idea. I was capable of doing this, capable of doing that. And so that's so awesome to see. If you would like to, I'd like to give you an opportunity to leave a word of encouragement to those that are hearing that maybe during this time of this pandemic that we're in, that maybe their footing hasn't been what they want it to be, whether it's in business or corporate. And I want to give you an opportunity, give you a 1 minute, 2 minute, or 1 minute encouragement to the people.
Okay, well, first I want to say thank you so much for having me on. I mean, I remember when
Hello?
we can you hear me? Am I still there?
I can hear you now.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to say thank you for having me on the show. First, I want to lead with that because I remember when we first met, and I told you we were going to do some business together. And I truly meant that. I saw a good relationship thereafter, even after that day. So, thank you for just partnering with me on so many different things since then, being a supporter, being in my corner, being a friend. I really appreciate that. I mean, as women, that's really important, because, society says that we can't do that for each other. So if you're a female out there, my advice is be there to support your friends, whether they're female or male, but break the society norms. Women can support each other. Women do support each other. Women
Yes, we
love
do.
each other. Women care for one another, support each other, root for each other.
Yes.
So if your footing hasn't been what you have desired it to be, you are, when I say this is the one time I think it truly applies, you are not alone. Because sometimes somebody be like, well, you're not the only one going through it, but you're like, yes, I am. It's just me. But no, it's not just you, and I'm not making light of that. And here I am at the beginning of the year, just really stepping out there in faith and starting things I had to research months about and call and ask for advice and help, and just to get to the point where you have to cancel it all. Not for 1 month, not for 2 months, but looking at for the rest of the year just to make sure you're doing what's best for the people that support you. So you
Right.
in this, you are not alone. If it's one time in your life that everybody, and it's another one, we all have the same amount of time in a day. This is another one where on a large scale, we've all been given more time than we would have normally. I know personally for me. So use the time not to do the things that social media tells you to do, but to do the things that you feel God has for you to do, whether that's rest, because some of us been working and working and working, and we need a break. Or for some of us, it's to get to work because we've been procrastinating. So wherever you fall, or just continuing going. For some of us, it's just a test. It's just a setback. It's just giving you a gift of time. And if it's not feeling like a gift, just know that it will pan out in the end. Setbacks, setbacks, can only be a setback in your mindset. Do you
Right.
see it as a setback, or do you see it as an opportunity for something? I can't tell you what that something is, but try and see the opportunity even in the worst, because that's where your hope is. And if you have hope, then you're going to accomplish whatever it is you're supposed to accomplish at the time you're supposed to accomplish it.
I love that. I love that. That is awesome. Awesome. So, Shante, how can people get connected with you and learn more about what you have going on?
They can follow me. I'm very good at Facebook. So you can find me on Facebook at Shunte Gamble. I am not the best at Instagram, but I have made it a goal to start doing live shows there. So I'll be, experimenting and really kind of tapping into my audience and making myself a real person on Instagram. So you can also find me there at Shunte Gamble. We try and stay consistent. So on Facebook and Instagram, it's also WEC and the number 4 Hope, WEC for Hope. You can find me online, womenempoweringchange.org or mixtalkmedia.org. Or you can just Google me.
And just
Just
nothing
sum it
else.
up.
Just Google. Just Google. Awesome. Thank you so much for being my guest on the show today. This has been truly awesome, and I know God has great, great things in store for you. Man, just like, listen, eye has not seen, ear has not heard, neither has it entered into the heart of man what God has in store for us. Amen. But it is
Amen.
revealed by his spirit. And so I believe it to be so, absolutely, when it comes to you, woman of God. So thank you again for being on the show. God bless you and have an awesome rest of your evening. And thank you, everyone, for joining us on the Live Like Lifestyle podcast. You can find more information about the podcast at www.livelikeshop.com. You'll also find my new book. Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen. Amen.
You'll also find T-shirts and other information as well on the website. Subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. So God bless each and every one of you. Have an absolutely fabulous evening. And remember, the Live Like Lifestyle podcast is here to empower change in your everyday life. Goodbye, everybody. Bye, Shante.
Bye.